I've had particular experience of this where you'll find a local community asset that's council owned. They would love to utilise the building for community needs, but they can't because, for example, a boiler needs repairing or health and safety, X, Y and Z. And the issue they have is when they go to the city council to get that repaired, the local procurement of the preferred suppliers is astronomical.
So in summary, there's a lot of talk and strategic words written about partnership with the community, but from where we stand at present, it just appears to be rhetoric.
We've got around 8 leaking roofs, we've got rotten window frames.
At the beginning, almost 2 years ago, we had 19 community partners keen to be involved.
Doors that are rotting. We have a security gate that hasn't been operational for around 5 years.
We're hopeful they'll still be engaged, and we are keeping in touch with them, but it's been very difficult to keep momentum.
You know, there's so many people out there that want to start their own business, that want to do it, but they're frightened, they're scared of it, they can't approach it. You know, there's buildings all over the place. I'm listening to people, this is dilapidated, that's dilapidated. Yeah.
Money. What we do is we actually work with people, we provide training, we actually support, advise, benefit advice.
Our site is plagued by antisocial behaviour.
Because no one in the council really cares. They're just not sat there on a 9 to 5 job. You've got to get someone that cares.
Because basically BPS refused to repair our security gate 5 years ago.
Employment training, getting people into employment, getting young people into employment.
Council needs to spend some time communicating directly with the people of the city and the communities, especially the younger population.
We run a women's empowerment project. You know, we put about 300 people every year into work.
We got together to start a campaign, and we formed a cooperative of our enterprises.
To actually understand what they want and what they need to initiate new business, because we are so far behind as a city, so far behind. When you compare us to Manchester and Liverpool, it really is embarrassing.
To make the council a constructive offer to try and secure the place ourselves and run it ourselves as a not-for-profit, as a cooperative. So
it's no wonder that we were really disappointed in the lack of pace displayed by the council in terms of our proposal.
It's been very difficult to engage property services around that. They refused to meet us to begin with, and they were still insisting on auctioning us off.
And we feel that we've lost valuable time in the process.
I just want to highlight how unprofessional, amateurish Birmingham Property Services were during the sale of those assets.
And we're now even more disappointed as we had a meeting with Ian Ward and some key people from Property Services in October, where promises were made to investigate opportunities for a partnership approach.
And when we got the press involved, even on Central News, they promoted a response that they would meet with us, but to just explain really how an auction operates. And we were welcome to come and bid for our own site that they've run down against, what would you assume are other property developers with very deep pockets.
And despite emails chasing a response to this, we're still waiting 6 weeks later.
It was just, I can feel everybody else's pain, just trying to speak to someone or get them to call you back, or just, for our proposal to be ignored, fine, but you've got to communicate with people.
Obviously, we're not providing any community benefit to the locality because the council seems to think the 800 extra pounds that it makes a month is worth way more than what we're offering the local community.
I asked for a meeting with the last head of planning, Wahid. 6 times he cancelled our meeting, and I said I could be of real use to you, and he was clearly not interested.
And I've just heard from a senior planning officer who addressed a local neighbourhood forum that discussions were being held with housing about the site, which we had no knowledge of. Previously,
our site had been promoted. We only found out about this after it was put up for auction.
If that's the case, why do I want to be in Birmingham? Why am I going to stay here? I don't know.
On that auction, incidentally, we found out we weren't notified until like 3 or 4 weeks before the proposed date in December 2019, last year.
What resonated with me from the other couple of speakers was the issue that the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing.
We found out shockingly from looking at a Bond and Wolf catalogue.
but the amount of times we've spoken to people who just don't seem to have any joined up approach and don't know what is happening in another area.
I'm suggesting that council is more transparent and publishes a public list of the property portfolio online, along with a dedicated contact, so that
and we often have to start the process over and over again, which is an awful waste of resources on both sides.
My own point of view, and from what my experience is, the council has no asset disposal policy, no strategy, no interest in creating a strategy.
We hope this inquiry will bring some positive change, and we will be able to develop much needed community services in an area that's in the top deprivation locality, and it is also going to be hugely disadvantaged by COVID when we finally come out of this.